I want to talk about the company that you presently work for and how that has been an asset to you. I know you're, one of their top agents, and I know that you get a lot of support at that company. So I'd like to talk a bit about what company you're currently with. I know you're with John Aaroe,
Hmm.
and so how long have you been with that company?
I've been with John Aaroe, and it's Aaroe because
Mm-hmm.
he's Danish. Um, I've been with the company since it started, which was about 2009. But prior to that, I've been with Prudential John Aaroe. So John had owned a company called John Aaroe and Associates,
Mm-hmm.
and then that company was bought by Prudential California, and John stayed on as the president for probably 7 years or so. And so I knew John from that time, and I actually had traveled with John. I'd gone to look at properties for sale in Mexico with a group of Prudential agents. I've been on trips with them. I've been to conventions. Um, and so I knew John, and I knew that he's an icon in LA real estate. And I knew that they had really high standards. And that, as I said, I like working for a company where I know the person whose name is on the door. The other thing that's really important about this company, besides the honesty, the integrity, the good marketing, the technology, and all of that, is that his company and the previous company as well that he had has a charitable foundation.
Yes.
And so every single agent in the entire company, and we now have, I think, in 8 or 9 years, we have 9 offices. That's
Wow, that's
that's
huge.
exponential growth.
Yes.
Um, and every agent that works for the company makes a donation out of every commission towards that charitable foundation. And then we have a charitable foundation board that reviews applications from various nonprofits. And we've given away lots and lots of money,
Yeah.
as well as Prudential John Aaroe, too. So I love that. That speaks to my heart.
Definitely. I love working for a company that has the same spirit as I do and in giving back,
Hmm.
and not just taking, but also giving back.
Yeah, yeah.
Another question one of the listeners had is why did you choose to work there rather than any other real estate company? I think you kind of
I think I
answered
just answered
that.
that, yeah.
And what do you wish you would have known um, looking for a position as a real estate agent that mentors didn't tell you when you were out there looking? So, what would you tell someone that's looking for a position as a realtor? We talked about making sure you look at both sides of it, if they're charging a desk rent or if they are taking a commission. But what other things are there out there that they may want to take a look at? Great marketing, that they have a heart for what they do and all that is great. But is there anything else that a person just coming into the business should look for when they're looking at a company to represent or be a part of?
Well, in today's digital age, I mean, you can certainly Google or Yelp everything.
Right.
And I would talk to people that have been in the business and see what their opinions are about various companies. I certainly have formulated opinions about various companies. There are some companies that I have a pretty vast network because of my coaching. I have a
Mm-hmm.
vast network of realtors all over the country, and even some outside the country. In Canada, I have a realtor colleague in Dublin, Ireland. I have somebody in Vienna. I have somebody in Iceland. If anybody knows somebody who wants to sell in a place,
Mm-hmm.
let me know. But I have formulated opinions over the years about particular companies, and some of those companies don't even have a presence in the Los Angeles market. But you, as an agent, are a representative of your company, and so you need to choose one that fits the kind of person you are.
Right.
So I think that's what I did. I went with a company that speaks to my heart, and represents clients the way they represent their. This is what's important. John Aaroe and the John Aaroe Group realizes that the agents are their clients.
Yes.
And that's huge because I think many real estate companies don't understand that. The agents are your clients. So you need to treat your agents well and you need to give them the tools they need to help their clients, and it all will come back. And there's plenty of business for all of us.
That's right.
There's lots of there's a spirit of generosity with the company I'm with. There's a spirit of integrity, and that's what I care about. Maybe, as I said to this person who's looking at getting her license, you're not going to learn from that TV show.
Right.
But you need to talk to somebody who's been in the trenches, or you need to talk to a professional coach who can give you good advice and lead you to the right path.
And so you have someone to be accountable to.
Absolutely.
Because the great thing about being in business for yourself, because as a realtor, you're really in business for yourself. The great thing about being in business for yourself is that you're in business for yourself. The bad thing about being in business for yourself is that you're in business for yourself. So you don't have a boss. You have mentors, you have people who can advise you and people who can give you direction, but you don't have a boss. So you don't have to get up at any certain time in the morning. You don't have to have a certain number of appointments every day. There's no one standing over your shoulder to see if you're making those phone calls or not. So you have to really be self-disciplined to be successful in this business, no matter how grand someone may make it look or how grand it may look on television, or when you walk into
Absolutely.
an open house, how grand the property might look and the realtor might be there all spit shined and beautiful, but you don't know the backdrop to that open door that says, welcome, come in and look at that house.
That's right. That's totally spot on. And I think that's why I've done as well as I've done, is that early on I got into coaching. I coached with a different coach who helped me treat my business as a business.
Yes.
Because it's real easy, if you don't have to show up at 9 o'clock every morning, or if you don't have to show up at 8 o'clock every morning, to just, fritter your time away. And to be honest, I'm guilty of that oftentimes too. But I know that on the mornings that I do my morning routine, then if you do what you want to achieve and you work on it now, then 5 years down the road, you have a lot more freedom. Or if you accomplish your task in the morning, then you've got the afternoon to do what you want to do, or the evening.
But I like that. I like what you said right there, is that if you put the work in now, the fruits from your labor will show up. And I think sometimes we get caught up in the beauty of the end result and not realize the steps it took to get there.
Exactly.
And so
that's where the TV shows.
That's where
lead you down,
right
down the garden path.
Right. So if someone, now I know that you list properties and that you are also a buyer's agent. And within that, people can buy 1 to 4 units from you. And so if someone wants to get in touch with you and they want to, work with you, what is your contact information so that they can become a part of Team Natalie?
That would be great. They can contact me. My email address is natalieneith@gmail.com. That's NATALIENEITH @gmail.com. They can call me at area code 323-317-9696. That rolls to my cell phone, 323-317-9696. I also have 3 Facebook business pages.
Yes.
Cat Bag and Neith Team LA Real Estate, West Adams Homes for Sale, Condos by Cat Bag and Neith. They can reach out to me through any of those. And then I have a personal Facebook page as well.
Thank you, Natalie. It's been so wonderful being educated by a top agent with John Aaroe Group. And we love the fact that you came on and answered some of our questions. Before we get off the air, I want you to promise me you'll come back and sit with us again and answer more questions.
Happy to.
Definitely. And so thank you again so much for being a part of Lunch with the Finance Bunch today. We have enjoyed asking you these questions, and I know we're going to have more. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Natalie Neith, thank you again.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.